Hello and welcome to Our Irish Life. For those of you who haven't been here before, my name is Saskia and I live in the sunny southeast of Ireland in a county called Wexford, and I live here with my family of four, so my husband and two kids and myself. And the main aim of today's video is to go through with you the pros and cons of living in Ireland. So the main reason I started doing this video was because I did see on the trending searches that there seems to be a lot of need for information out there regarding this. And also we did a video previously, myself and my husband, on the cost of living in Ireland this year. And that just went down really well, and we just thought it'd be nice to give a little bit more information to people about living in Ireland for whatever reason it may be, if you're thinking of moving here or whatever it is you need. So myself, I've been living in Ireland since I was 10 years old, and my husband has lived here for his entire life. So we thought we might be able to help out a little bit with what the pros and cons are of living here. So I'm going to get started. Now, this is just our own personal experience, and it's just going to be generalities really. Obviously, everyone has completely different views on these things, but this is our point of view, and I'm just going to go through a few general points with you now. So I think I'll start with the cons, just get the not so good stuff out of the way first. So the first one that we have written down here, Owen did help me pull together this list. He just preferred not to be on camera today, which is perfectly fine. So thank you to him, and we'll go through it now. So yeah, the first one was housing. So there is a big issue with housing here at the moment. It can be very difficult to find any rental properties whatsoever. And when they do come up, they're gone so quickly and they are very expensive at the moment. Now, we did cover the costs of things like rent and house prices in our other video. If you want to refer back to that, I'm just going to keep this totally general and not go through any figures or anything like that. So yeah, renting, very, very difficult. And then if you do want to get on the property ladder, that can be difficult as well, because you do need a 10% deposit as a first time buyer or a 20% as a second time buyer. And there are very few houses on the market at the moment. And also they are gone very quickly and the prices are quite high. Again, same as renting. So then the next point we have as a bit of a disadvantage of living here is transportation. So really, living in Ireland, the best way to get around is having a car yourself, which isn't always an available option to everybody. Now, if you are in a bigger city, which we are not, the transport systems may be much better. For example, Dublin does have the Lewis, and it has trains and buses and everything like that. Now, we come from a town, so it's not as great here. It has improved greatly in the last few years, which is fantastic, but still it is not really reliable enough. Like, the buses and trains don't really go at such regular intervals that you could maybe depend on them for going to work, etc. So, and it is limited as to where they can go. Also, like if you were commuting somewhere like to Dublin from here for work, the time that it takes to go on a bus or a train is significantly longer than it would be in a car. So when you find if you ever come over here, if you're not from here, a lot of people too tend to have their own cars. And if you do not, it can be a little bit of a struggle to plan out your journey and get to places when you need to. So just something to be mindful of. Another point then is appointment times. So at the moment, like doctors, dentists, everything like that, it takes a long time to get an appointment. So for dentists, if it's a non-emergency, you could be looking at up to 3 months. That's quite a standard waiting time here. Anytime we are in the dentist, I book well in advance for our next checkup, because if I rang today, it would be 3 months time, like at best, I would imagine. Now, if it is an emergency, you can talk to them and they do tend to get you in a bit sooner, but it's not always immediate, especially with doctors as well. I find if we ever do need a doctor's appointment and I call on the day, if I do not call at exactly 9 o'clock when they open, the chances are it's going to be the next day at best before they can see you. And if they can't, we do have an out of hours doctor which you can go to, but it's just you prefer to go to your own doctor who knows more about you and can keep track of things. So it's not ideal. And if you are booking in with the doctor for a non-medical emergency appointment, it can take about 2 weeks for something general, which is a bit crazy in my opinion. Now maybe it's the same everywhere, I'm just literally basing this off our own personal experience. So then for things like hospital appointments, so you can have like scans, stuff like that, there are very long waiting lists and backlogs for these things. So it can take a very long time to get appointments. It is quicker if you do have private health insurance, but not everyone has the ability to get this. Obviously, like for financial reasons or whatever it may be, it's not accessible to everybody. So again, not ideal. And now, thankfully, I do not have any experience with this, but I have also heard that accessing mental health services is really quite woeful as well. It takes a long time, and obviously, as I'm sure everyone is aware, when something like this pops up, it needs to be quite a quick and efficient thing, and unfortunately it doesn't get dealt with that way here, from what I have heard. And now, so those are the main cons, and then the next one is quite a subjective one. So obviously everybody thinks differently, and that is the weather. So obviously it is very rainy here in Ireland, but that is why everything is so beautifully green. So, you know, you kind of have to take it if that's what the scenery you're looking for. So personally, I think the weather is lovely. I like it, the fact that it's so mild. I know it is rainy, but there's no need for like loads of gear like you do in some countries where you like experience two extremes. So like for some countries, obviously you can need snow gear at some time of the year, and then you need your summer clothes as well for the warmer times. Ireland isn't really like that. Not where I'm living anyway, so you'd be fine with just like, you know, a coat, a pair of wellies to have on hand when you need them, and then other than that your normal clothes will do. So yes, it's not ideal that it rains quite a lot, and I can understand if you come here from a nice sunny country, it can be a little bit depressing, but life is really what you make of it. So I think from living here for so long, we've just learned to roll with it and just go out even when it is raining and make the best of it. So yeah, completely like subjective one, so you could think something totally different to me. I don't think it's that big a deal, but other people do, and that's fine. So for the pros then, so obviously, like first thing I've written down is the people. So Ireland is well known for its hospitality, being very welcoming. People here are very approachable and will step in and try and help you out as best they can most of the time. Now obviously this doesn't apply for everybody, and sometimes in bigger cities with more people it may not be the case all the time, that if you needed help, or you know, not everybody's friendly. But in general it is a nice place to be, and it has a good atmosphere, and the people are generally very friendly. So also we do have a good quality of life. So a lot of people here do have a good mindset with like work-life balance. Like we are conscious of like having the best of both worlds, so working but also spending time with our families. Obviously we have good crack in places, like I'm sure you've seen things like anyone going out to pubs or traditional music festivals or anything like that. There is such a good atmosphere here. Everybody is up for the crack, having a good time. Obviously we have a very rich heritage as well. There's lots of heritage sites. There's one very near here called the National Heritage Park, and it goes through all things in Irish history and is really visual and shows you lots of different things like the structures of houses here and stuff like that. There's really interesting places to visit. Obviously another point then is that we do have beautiful scenery here, so many places to see. Obviously in the west you have stuff like the cliffs of Moher, they're absolutely beautiful. Up in Donegal they have lots of beaches and national parks, and then we have Wicklow, which is on our border here, and it is absolutely beautiful. Loads of places to go. Glendalough is fabulous, the lakes there are just gorgeous. And here in Wexford we have so many things as well. We have lots of different beaches, so many to choose from, all different types. So you have the lovely sandy ones for your beach days, you have other more interesting ones that may have rock pools. You have Kilmore Quay, which is a fishing village, so you can go down and see the seals, play on the beach. They have a lovely fish and chip shop, and like, you know, playground is beautiful. Like, we have access to so many things here and so many beautiful places to see that it really is a great place to live. Once you can look past the rainy weather and make the most of it, it is lovely. Also, one thing I forgot is that it is quite a safe environment here. So I know specifically myself that when I was living in the UK when I was younger, it wasn't possible to really go out onto the street and play. It was a very busy area. It had to be, you were kept an eye on in your house or out the back garden or whatever it was if friends came over. But then the real significant difference I saw when I moved over here at 10 years old was that I could go out with my friends. Obviously parents did keep an eye out, but you could be outside with your friends, walking around, playing around. It is a safe environment. It's the same now for our kids here. We have a lovely little estate where they can all play together. Obviously, we do keep an eye, but it is a lovely, safe environment to grow up in. Obviously, this isn't the case for everywhere. I'm just talking from personal experience, but that is also something that's really lovely about Ireland, is that you do have that ability to go out and let your kids have a little bit more freedom than they may have in other places, which is great. So those are the pros that I have listed as well. I'm sure there are many, many more. I just wanted to keep this video nice and short and sweet and just give the information that I hope is useful to people. If there is anything else you would like to know or any questions you may have, please just let me know and I will do my best to answer them for you. If you are considering moving here, then that is wonderful to hear and we wish you the best of luck with everything. And thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you again soon for more of our Irish life.